Aloha, this is Mr. Porto, and I'm going to be doing one of my last screencasts or webcasts on how to solve some of the problems on page 10. So hopefully this helps out. You see on the with the left-hand side, I have the page all shrunk down, and then on the right-hand side, I have some things that I'm going to be working with. And we're looking at hooky hooky or tug of war from the platforms. It says for our version of the game of tug of war, the very first one. So I'm over here. For our version of tug of war, the surface of the platform that each competitor stands on has a dimension of 12 by 12 inches. And it says, make a sketch of the surface of the platform and show how you can use a grid and a formula to find its area. And so over here I just have, remember this is mine, so if I want to know the area of a rectangle, I can pretty much say that it's going to be length times width, right? The length of the side times the width of the side will give me my area of the side. So then I have one box down here. Let's just say, for instance, that this one here, this little box, is 1 inch by 1 inch. Okay. So if we use the equation, length times width, that's 1 times 1. So the area of this box would be equal to 1 times 1, which is 1 inch squared, right? So we have 1 square inch, 1 inch squared, right? And so that makes sense. Now, we want to see what this would look like in a grid, right? So if we have all of these 1 inch boxes and we put them in a grid, you could start to see, okay, well, what would my area be? And you know that there are 4 of these guys and they're exactly the same size. Right, so now I have a new dimension here, and I'm going 2 inches by 2 inches, right? And so 2 times 2 would be 4 inches squared. Right, so you have 4 square inches. Let's change around this grid so it looks a little different and see if we get the same pattern here. So even if you move this up here, right, still a rectangle, right? So I still have the rectangle, and now I have a 1 inch, and then this distance here is going to be 4 inches. So 1 inch times 4 inches is going to be 4 inches. So different ways, and you could show how to grid out something and find its surface area. And so in this section right here, that's really what we're asking you to do, is to make a grid of a 12 by 12 inch platform and show how you can grid it out. Okay? Now the question below, so I'm going to work on this next one here. It says the layout of our huakai competition ring is shown below. For each white square represents a 12 inch by 12 inch platform, okay, that each competitor needs to maintain the balance on. It says find the area of the shaded region, show your work, and label everything. Okay, so I have this over here and I kind of blew it up so it's just a little bit bigger. I know that I have a 10-foot side, right, and then I have a 25-foot side. Well, the very first thing that I want to do is I want to find out what's the total square footage of this whole area. Okay. And I'm going to use that same equation. So this area here is going to be, of this square, is going to be my length times my width. Right? So that's how I'd be able to solve for all of the things in green. Area is going to be length times width. So remember, when you solve this out and you get your answer, what's it going to be in? It's going to be in feet, right? Feet times feet is feet squared. So you're going to have your square footage in feet of all of this shaded area. Now, the next part is they have these little boxes here, right, in here. And these aren't shaded, so we don't want to include those in the total area, right? And we know that these are 12 inches by 12 inches. Okay. Well, we can find the area, right, of those small little boxes, and you use the same equation, length times width, right? And then I'd be able to find my area, but guess what? It's going to be in inches squared, because that's what this unit is. They told you it's 12 inches. So I'm going to have to make some conversions here, because you can't subtract, when I try to find out what this total shaded area, I can't subtract inches from feet. They're two different units, okay? This here and this here, okay? You can't subtract inches from feet, okay? You need all of them to be in feet or all of them to be in inches, right? And then you can make your subtraction and you can figure out what the shaded area is. This should help you solve, right, this problem. Now my last one, it says if a child, so I'm here, it says if a child were to throw a stone into the competition ring, what is the probability that he/she would hit one of the competitor's platform? Answer the question with a complete sentence. So don't forget this little last part, it's a complete sentence. I'm going to give you a hint here. I want you to work on this on your own. Like, think about the probability. This may be a new word for us, what probability is, but I want you to think about it as a ratio. Okay, because that's what we've been working with. And I want you to think about what the ratio is of the competition platform and the whole area. Okay? So my platform to the whole area. So this over here, I want to think, what's my ratio of in here, in my competition platform, versus the area of my whole area. So, and that should help you and think through it, and that's kind of a bonus challenge question. Good luck.